The first thing Elias Moreno noticed was the siren light blinking without sound, slicing through the bright afternoon like a warning that had lost its voice. The second thing was the woman standing beside the patrol car, her posture stiff, one hand pressed against the hood as if she were holding herself upright by sheer will. And the third thing, the moment that stopped his breath and locked his feet to the pavement, was her face. Not because she was hurt, not because she was a police officer alone on a wide, empty stretch of road, but because her face belonged to a memory Elias had buried so deep he believed it could never surface again. Before the story goes any further, let me ask you something. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the idea that one small decision can change an entire life, take a moment to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the channel. Kindness matters. Stories like this exist because kindness still exists. Elias had not planned to stop. He was already late, his old sedan rattling softly as it carried him and his 6-year-old son, Mateo, home from school. The sun was high, warm, unapologetic, casting sharp shadows across the road. It was one of those afternoons that felt ordinary in the most dangerous way, the kind where life quietly decides to test you when you least expect it. Elias lived his days carefully now. Since becoming a single father, every choice felt heavier. Every delay mattered. Every risk had a consequence that extended beyond him. But he saw the cop, alone, the hood of her car up, no other vehicles around, and despite the exhaustion etched into his bone from years of doing everything alone, he slowed down. He pulled over. He told Mateo to stay in the car, the same way he always did when life felt unpredictable. And then he stepped out, squinting against the daylight, unaware that his past was about to step out of hiding. Up close, there was no doubt. The sharp cheekbones, the faint scar near the eyebrow, the eyes that once knew him better than anyone else in the world. Her name came to him like a bruise being pressed. Ava Calderon. The woman who had disappeared from his life 7 years ago without explanation. The woman who had disappeared from his life 7 years ago without explanation. The woman connected to the worst day of his life. The day he lost not just love, but trust, stability, and the future he had imagined. Ava noticed him at the same moment. Her professional composure cracked just slightly, like glass under pressure. The sun lit her face clearly, revealing exhaustion, strength, and something else Elias could not immediately name. Guilt, maybe, or surprise, or the same shock that had frozen him in place. Years ago, Elias had been a different man, younger, softer, still hopeful in ways he did not even realize until hope was taken from him. Back then, he had worked long hours at a manufacturing plant, saving every extra dollar for a future he believed was solid. Ava had been studying criminal justice, driven by a sense of right and wrong that bordered on stubbornness. They had talked about marriage, about kids, about growing old somewhere quiet, until one afternoon she never came home. There had been a note, short, careful, apologetic, without explanation. She said she had to leave, that it was safer this way, that he should not look for her. And then she was gone. No calls, no answers, nothing. 2 months later, Elias learned she had joined the police academy in another state. The betrayal cut deeper than anger. It was confusion that stayed with him, questions that never found answers. Life did not pause to let him grieve. His sister died the following year, leaving behind Mateo, a baby with wide eyes and a fragile future. Elias stepped into fatherhood overnight. He stopped asking questions about Ava because survival demanded all his energy. Love became something practical. Food on the table, homework, bedtime stories read even when his voice shook with exhaustion. The man who stood on the roadside now was built from responsibility, not dreams. Seeing Ava again cracked something open. Not loudly, not dramatically, just enough to let the past breathe. Ava's patrol car had overheated. A simple problem, one Elias knew how to fix. He had grown up repairing broken things because no one else would. As he worked, the silence between them stretched, filled only by the hum of distant traffic and the sound of metal cooling under the sun. He could feel her watching him. He could feel the weight of words neither of them knew how to release. She looked different, yet the same, stronger maybe, more guarded. The uniform fit her like a shield. Elias wondered how many times she had chosen duty over comfort, just like he had chosen fatherhood over grief. When the engine finally settled, when the immediate problem was solved, the moment arrived that neither of them could avoid. Ava thanked him, her voice steady but quieter than he remembered. Elias nodded, wiping grease from his hands, suddenly aware of how small his life must look from the outside. Old car, worn clothes, a child waiting patiently in the back seat. He almost left, almost chose the safety of silence, but kindness has a strange way of pushing people forward when fear begs them to retreat. He asked if she was okay, not as a former lover, not as a man with unanswered questions, just as a human being checking on another. That question broke something in her. Ava explained, in fragments and pauses, that leaving him had never been about love. It had been about danger. During her early training, she had stumbled onto information involving a group under investigation, people who did not forgive curiosity, people who noticed her connection to Elias, her life outside the academy. She had been warned, unofficially, to cut ties, disappear, protect him by removing herself completely. She had chosen silence because she believed it would hurt less than truth. She had been wrong. Elias listened, the afternoon sun beating down on his back, Mateo's small face watching through the windshield. Anger rose, sharp and familiar, but it tangled with something unexpected. Understanding. Not forgiveness, not yet, but understanding. Life, death, that, died, it seemed, had not been kind to either of them. Ava had spent years proving herself in a job that demanded emotional distance. Elias had spent years building a family from loss. Both had learned to stand alone. Before they parted, Ava looked at Mateo. Something in her expression softened, a mix of regret and relief. She told Elias he was doing a good job. He did not know how she could see that so clearly in such a short moment, but the words landed somewhere deep. That night, Elias could not sleep. The past knocked louder than it had in years. He thought about all the moments he had struggled alone, about the woman who had left without explanation, about the cop on the roadside who had carried her own burden in silence. He wondered if second chances were real, or if they were just stories people told themselves to survive. Days passed, then weeks. Life returned to its routine. School drop-offs, work, dinners. But something had shifted. The world felt slightly more open, as if a door he had sealed shut had been unlocked, even if he was not ready to walk through it. Then, one afternoon, Ava showed up at the community center where Elias volunteered on weekends, teaching basic repair skills to kids who needed something to do and someone to believe in them. She was off duty, no uniform, just a woman standing awkwardly in a place filled with noise and life. She did not ask for forgiveness. She did not ask for anything at all. She simply showed up, again and again, helping quietly, fixing chairs, carrying boxes, smiling at Mateo like someone grateful just to be allowed near. Trust rebuilt itself slowly, in daylight conversations, in shared moments that felt earned. Elias saw the way Ava treated people who had nothing to offer her. The patience, the fairness, the kindness that had drawn him to her in the first place. Ava saw the man Elias had become, the father, the protector, the steady presence in a chaotic world. Their past did not vanish. It never would. But it softened, losing its sharpest edges. One afternoon, as the sun poured through the center's windows, Mateo took Ava's hand without thinking, the simple trust of a child who sensed safety. Elias watched from across the room, his chest tight with emotion. He did not try to name. Some moments did not need labels. This story is not about romance. Not really. It is about how kindness circles back, about how stopping for someone on the side of the road can reopen wounds and heal them at the same time, about how people do the wrong things for reasons they do not know how to explain, and about how choosing compassion does not erase pain, but it can give pain a place to rest. Before we reach the end, here is a special request. If you are still watching, comment the word *kindness below. It helps this story reach others who might need it more than they realize. Elias never expected his life to intersect with Ava's again. He never expected closure or understanding or the quiet rebuilding of something he thought was lost forever. But life has a way of surprising people who choose to stop, who choose to help, who choose kindness even when it hurts. On another bright afternoon, much like the first, Elias drove past the same stretch of road. No broken patrol car this time, no flashing lights, just open sky and the steady hum of moving forward. Mateo laughed in the back seat. Elias smiled, feeling something he had not felt in a long time: peace. If this story touched your heart, if it made you believe even a little more in second chances and quiet acts of kindness, please like, comment, share, and